Alright, how's it going, guys? Today with this video, I just want to go over the power of three, so accumulation, manipulation, and distribution, and really how you can find high probability entries with that specifically, and how it can help you determine bias and a few other things. So, um, just want to put this out there for you guys. AMD. And define it either way. I prefer AMD. One, accumulation. Two, manipulation. And three, distribution. So that is the basics of this whole concept. Orders will accumulate. So we will have chop in the market where buyers and sellers are starting to add to their positions. Market's a bit undecided. But yeah, orders are accumulating. So it may look like chop like this. Manipulation is going to be pretty much a liquidity sweep or a fake out to one side of the market. And distribution is when all of these accumulated orders finally take out stops and start filling their orders. So we accumulate orders, we manipulate out the market, and then we distribute all the rest of those orders. And to the upside, it looks something like this: accumulation, manipulation, fake out, distribution to the other side. So let's look at this on the chart. As we can see here, we're on gold right now. And one thing I do want to say, let's go here Wednesday. I want to hop onto the daily chart. One important thing of AMD is it's going to be high probability if you can identify trend in the market. So as we can see, really since May, the market's been in a complete downtrend, and as you can see right here, it just broke structure to the downside again. It's looking like it's really gonna break down and shift market structure on the daily. Yeah, generally market looks bearish here. Let's hop back onto the 1 hour, and again, this is bigger picture, higher time frame. We'll get into lower time frame soon. But yeah, so we can see right here, we're in a downtrend. So market's been going down. What can we instantly see here? I'm sure you guys can identify this already just from what I've drawn out. We have the accumulation of orders, right? So easy way to mark this stuff out is just put a box around the accumulation. So we can just do that. Let's make this red. These are orders accumulating. I actually would like to make this a different color. Let's go purple. Orders are accumulating here. What's the next step in this? Manipulation. And if we zoom in here, what can we see? This candle, all of these highs just got taken out. All of the accumulation highs just got taken out, and there's a clear fake out to one side of the market. So what can we call this? We can call this the manipulation. Highlight that in red. And what follows directly after manipulation, as you guys can see, the market is clearly distributing. So once you sweep these highs, you're going to go down to like the 5 or the 15 minute and look for a break in market structure and maybe a fair value gap retest, maybe an order block retest, really any of your PD arrays. So yeah, pretty much to sum it up, market's bearish. We're looking for short AMD. We're looking for accumulation, manipulation to the upside, and distribution to the downside. So here's our A, here's our M, and here's our D. So you're going to want to capitalize on the distribution. You're going to want to identify these two things and then hopefully catch the distribution in your move to the downside. We can see it here again, literally just after. Orders, we have some consolidation here, right? It's not as long as this, but market's still chopping around. We have some accumulation. We have more manipulation to the upside. And as you can see, I think this just takes out this high. Yep, it just manipulates even this high. Then what can we guess follows that? Boom. Distribution. Strong, strong, strong distribution. You can target these lows. Like, I mean, look at this. You can even go back and target levels over here. This consolidation, fair value gap, order block, liquidity, blah, 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 blah. You can target all of that. But yeah, that's to the downside. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. We'll go over a few more examples in a second. But the second part of this AMD concept, let me put that back over here, sorry. Second part of this AMD concept is often act as a yeah, so essentially where orders accumulate in the market, that can be a retracement or a rejection area. So as we can see, the example we just went over right now, go ahead. If you're still bearish in the market, mark out that accumulation. And as you can see, oh, I missed the distribution. I want another re-entry short. This market's clearly in a bear market. I want another re-entry. What can you do right here? Wait for a retracement into this accumulation and get short in the market. Obviously, we're on the 1 hour, so wait for proper entry confluence. Need breaks of structure, and then sometimes it will manipulate these highs again. So you do want to be careful and wait for a very, very high probability entry here. So that's just an example of how the consolidation, the accumulation can be retested. And before I continue with gold, we can see here on GBPUSD. Let's just look right here. What is this? Clear accumulation. We manipulated out these highs and distributed. Manipulation, distribution. You get the point there. So what happens when price retests this zone of accumulation? Boom, tap into it. Get short in the market with a proper stop loss based on other low time frame confluences. And what happens? Boom. Market continues to dump and dump and dump after retesting this area. And you'll see this time and time again happen. Perfect example, again, right here. Consolidation, accumulation of orders. What happens right when price retests that zone? Boom. Down again. And another thing to note is that AMD won't always happen. Sometimes you just get accumulation and distribution because the market already has enough money to fill these orders, and news can be bearish, and overall the market can just take control before manipulation occurs because the market's in agreement that obviously we need to be bearish. And you can see that right here. We accumulated. There was no manipulation before this move down. So just like any strategy, this isn't going to show up every single time. Obviously, there's going to be times where you just get the A and then the D, get no M, but like right here, again, we accumulated and distributed. We didn't really manipulate here, but that's okay. What can we see here? This is a lot of chop. Orders are accumulating. We manipulated the market, faked out to one side, and then distributed our orders. But what can you see here? Like, this is another thing you can pair with this if we're in a clear trend. We have accumulation, manipulation. What does it manipulate into, though? Like, more accumulation here. So that's another confluence. You can say, okay, I see the A, I see the M. Am I sure we're not going to continue up? Well, yeah, you're in a downtrend and you also tapped into more previous accumulation. So you can be pretty sure that you're ready to go short. And then pair that with other confluence. Like, what do we have here? Order block. Taps into the order block. Boom. Just pair this with other things you can already see on the charts. So yeah, let's go back to, well, I guess we can stay on GU for a second here. I'd prefer to just go back to, yeah, let's go back to gold. So let me get rid of this. We went over this, and like I just said on GU, again, accumulation, this is a bit longer, but well, I guess I'll disregard that, but accumulation, manipulation, retapped back into the previous zone and then down. But that's a little more advanced way of thinking about it. Here is another good example of AMD that led to an extremely aggressive push up in the market. And this was due to a bit of macro events. Obviously, there's some conflict geopolitically in the world. And when fear starts to rise about that stuff, a lot of people start to buy gold. Demand for gold rises, so the price for gold rises because more and more people are buying it. But here, this one's a bit more difficult to trade though because we've been in a clear downtrend. So this is kind of just an example of how the concept works. Here, what do we have? Accumulation of orders. And this is a way you can tell that there's going to be a bigger market reversal if his orders are accumulating for this long. Like, this was an entire week practically before we got distribution. We did get a bit here, but we'll go into that right here in a second. But yeah, accumulation, manipulation. Look at price, swept out all the lows, faking out to the downside. And then we get our distribution here. We're distributing. So, what can you tell from bias after that? If this is more, I wouldn't trade this, but I would use this for bias. Clearly, on the hourly, we shifted quite a bit of market structure. We closed above these highs. Right when we get above these highs, consolidate, and another big push up. Close above these highs. Lots of internal market structure shift and breaks of structure. What can I then look for after I see AMD clearly switching my bias to bullish? Now I'm bullish. What am I going to wait for now? I'm going to wait for another piece of accumulation. Oh, what happens here? Fake out to the downside, manipulation. Then I'm going to enter the market around the 5-minute time frame off of clear breakage structure or market structure shift, then I'm going to get long. I'm going to be like, okay, clear accumulation manipulation. I want to wait for more distribution in the market. Let's just say you're trading on the hourly time frame. Really, really high time frame stuff for market entries. But let's just say this. You're like, okay, I'm going to be in swings for a week. I'm going to target this high and this high. And that's going to be my trade. And then stretch, take profits at these swing highs. This shows how powerful AMD is. Like, from one AMD entry, you have an 11.6 or 11.46 RR with this on the hourly. And let's just say you missed your entry, like, oh shit, we had AMD, we had accumulation, distribution, more AMD. You're like, shit, I want to get back into the market. Like, we're clearly bullish. We're not pulling back. We're just accumulating, manipulating, and distributing. What did I just talk about previously? Where's this accumulation? Right here, market out. What happens when market taps back into this area? Boom, rejection again. Instant rejection. This is where you can get long in the market. You can keep riding this with the trend. Like, everyone says, like, try and catch reversals. And yes, that's true. This is what I consider a reversal from the manipulation. Higher time frames, you want to ride the trend. That's why you find daily bias. That's why you find weekly bias. Trend is going to be your friend always. But yeah, let's try and find another example of it here. Right here, we got massive push up into the market. We had some stuff down here. We ended up having another market structure shift above these highs. What can I look for again? Let me mark this out and see if we can find a low time frame entry. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, what day is this on? Wednesday, October 18th. So right here, we're accumulating orders. What are we waiting for? A manipulation to the downside, because clearly we're bullish here. What do we get? Price manipulating, faking out, sweeping out the lows of these consolidation. What are we waiting for? Some confirmation of entry and to catch the distribution. So obviously right here on the hourly, you can already see, like, we shifted market structure again. But let's go back on the 5 minute and see if we can just find an entry here. So yeah, manipulation occurred right there. So what can I wait for? A breakage structure on the 5 minute. We have highs here, price broke structure right there. I can just get long into the market off of that and put my stop below these lows. If I do that even to the top of this consolidation, it's already a 1-to-1, but most likely we're going to push higher. And to the top of this move, pretty much before ever pulling back, you already hit like almost a 7-to-1 just off that 5 minute break structure. You can also play it even more safe, and again, maybe it didn't completely respect this all the way, but you can go in and be like, okay, I want to retest to the fair value gap. Boom, even better RR. Let's just say you see this move again and you saw, let's go back on the hourly. Let's say this is the situation you're in. You're like, okay, we had AMD here, AMD here, AMD here. We keep pushing up. We keep pushing up. Like, I need to catch this move. What do you see again? AMD. What can you wait for to re-enter into the market? What do we see literally right here? Price retraces into the accumulation and then once again rips to the upside. And with these retracements, again, like what do we have right here? Hourly order block as well that it retraces right into. And then you can get in off retracements and 5-minute breakage structure. But yeah, so when you get down to it and you really look on the charts and just keep back testing, like it might be harder to see on some pairs, but let's just look at SPX right here, right when I'm looking at my chart. We've been bearish. We shifted market structure to the downside here. What do we see happen right here? We see orders start to accumulate. What happens here? Manipulation. What happens here? Boom, distribution. And this one, it's a little different because it hit a POI. I was having some trouble, but we ended up accumulating. We did have a bit of manipulation here, but this one's a lot harder to trade because you're within like a daily POI. But boom, another move to the downside. So yeah, you can use AMD for entry. You can use it for bias. You can pretty much use it for anything, really. But yeah, you want to understand, like, this shows up on every chart. This is how institutions fill their big orders. Like, they need this to happen. Obviously not all the time, sometimes markets with them, but they need to accumulate their orders because, like, they're not like us. They're not going on MetaTrader and being like, fill 100 lots. They're not doing that. Like, they need to fill, like, they're like, okay, 7 million fucking whatever dollars on shorts on GU. I need to fill a $7 million order, or like I need to fill a $20 million order. They need to accumulate that order. They can't just be like, okay, boom, filled. $20 million just opened up in the market for me to go. They need to slowly build up those orders. Okay, scaling 500K here. Okay, 200K here. Okay, a million here. Okay, another million here. Okay, now that we got these, now that we got some money in the market, and we also have the opposing side of the market, we need to manipulate them, take out all of their stops so that we finally have enough money to fill the rest of our orders and distribute that 5, 10, however many $1 million orders to that side. So yeah, if you guys have any questions with AMD, just feel free to hit me in the Discord, tag me in the chat, DM me if you need. I'll be happy to go over it with you. But yeah, for now, back test this. Just go on charts, go on different pairs, go on SPX, go on NASDAQ, and try and use this to find your bias. It won't too often happen where you find entries. It is on higher time frames, but yeah, use this to find bias especially, and also for entry confluences. But yeah, again, let me know if you guys have any questions. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.